Back. And we're back, and here with political reporters Matt Dixon, Alex Glorioso, and I want to mention too that you had a third colleague, Mark Caputo, working on this story. So it wouldn't be fair to talk about it without mentioning his name, that he had a significant role to play.
Sure.
And I think that brings us up to the next point in the discussion, which is how did this story come about? You had the three different reporters working on the story. How did it come about? How did it get rolling, so to speak?
Well, I think that it all got started with a story we broke about Senator Jeff Clements. He ended up resigning last Friday now, 2 Fridays ago now. He was the incoming minority leader for the Democratic Party, and we ended up reporting on Friday morning that he had an affair with a Broward County lobbyist, and he had a fallout with her last legislative session during the spring, and he called in Senator Jack Latvala to help him get a laptop back from her. And when we broke that story before he resigned, there was just a lot of questioning that we were hearing from people about what is the Senate budget chief doing orchestrating getting a laptop back for a Democrat, and why is this happening during session? They don't manage to pass a budget, but they managed to procure this laptop from this lobbyist.
Right.
Like, what is his role in all of that? What does that say about what he's doing? And so we just started reporting from there.
And then you went through the normal vetting process. The women came forward. You've spoken to them. You've verified their stories to your satisfaction. You guys all worked together and sort of built this story out. Timing wise, you mentioned earlier, you don't want to drop a story this big on a Friday night, but at the end of the day, it doesn't look like it makes much difference because pretty much everybody in Tallahassee and perhaps across the state has seen it.
Well, it was one of those stories we wanted part of the vetting process we can talk about is attorneys get involved in these stories. Media companies have attorneys as well, and we needed to get our clearance in that regard. And it took a while, and I'm not complaining remotely. We did what we needed to do on our end to make sure things were accurate, and that's why we would have liked to have it out earlier in the day, certainly, but timing for something like this is far down our checklist as far as things that are important.
Okay, so you don't feel like it's something that it wasn't like you're racing against time. It's just, this is an important story. It needs to get reported. It's not like you felt like someone was going to beat you to the punch. It was a situation where the story's done. It needs to get out there. It's big enough. It doesn't matter when we push the button.
That's right. I mean, there are some stories. If we had an exclusive story that we got on a Friday, ordinarily we would probably hold it till Monday morning. That's a normal course of action for an online media company. That Monday is nobody over the weekend is necessarily reading us unless there's something big and breaking. But in this case, we had a sense of what this story was, and we just said once it's done, let's hit publish.
And also, I think that on Thursday, what added a lot of momentum to this story coming together was that, we were at a press gaggle for AP Day, and we asked Senator Latvala whether he thought the Senate had a problem with sexual harassment, and he took the question very personally. He said that he had never had a formal complaint filed against him. He had never been formally accused of sexually harassing anyone, and, after that, the story just kind of fell together pretty quickly. People started calling us. A lot of victims who were saying that wasn't true, and they wanted to talk, and they were pretty angry that he said that. And it was also just kind of bizarre. I mean, why take that question so personally?
Was the Latvala AP Day, that was a Thursday?
Correct.
And the story you're saying the story came together much more quickly after that point, but surely you were working on it before that.
Yes, but Alex is totally right. That interview seemed to be a mitigating factor as far as people saying, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And when her question, and it was Alex's question to him, was very generic, broadly about the Senate. He took a narrow view of that question and talked about himself personally, and it did catch everyone's sort of attention. And after that, she's right, we started to hear from more people and make headway much quicker after the Associated Press interview.
Okay. Hold that right there. I want to take another quick break, and when we come back, I want to talk just quickly about where this goes from here. There's an investigation now pending, and we'll get into all that in just a moment. We'll be right back after this.